So, what if I told you that the single biggest predictor of your success isn't your talent? It's not your IQ, it's not the gifts you were born with. Today, we are diving deep into Angela Duckworth's incredible book, Grit, to find out what really makes the difference between dreaming and achieving. Can you imagine hearing that from your own father? Not just one time, but over and over again your whole childhood. I mean, that's the kind of thing that could either completely break you or it could light a fire under you. And for Angela Duckworth, well, it definitely did the latter. You see, in this amazing, almost unbelievable twist, her father's constant doubt didn't stop her. Nope, it actually pushed her to discover a really profound truth about what it actually takes to make it in this world. That's right. The woman who was told her whole life she was no genius went on to win the award that's literally nicknamed the Genius Grant. And the irony is just perfect. She didn't win it for some innate brilliance. She won it for her research that proves what we accomplish is way more about our passion and perseverance than it is about talent. So how did she prove it? Well, let's get into the details. Okay, so first, we have to talk about this fascination we all have with natural talent. You know what I mean? The prodigy, the artist, the athlete who just makes it all look so easy. We just love those stories, don't we? Just think about it for a second. Let's say you're an investor, or you're hiring for a really important job. You have two candidates, right? Both have the exact same level of accomplishment. But one is described as a natural, just gifted. The other is a striver, someone who had to work incredibly hard for everything. Who do you put your money on? Well, this is exactly what a psychologist named Chia Jung Tse wanted to find out. She ran these fascinating studies where she gave experts profiles of musicians and entrepreneurs. Again, one was framed as this gifted prodigy, and the other was framed as someone who just clawed their way to the top with sheer hard work. And this is where it gets crazy. Even though pretty much all of us say we value hard work more, the experts consistently chose the natural. They saw the natural as more talented, more hireable, and just more likely to succeed. It shows we have this hidden naturalness bias that we're not even aware of. And this bias, this obsession with naturals, is exactly what Duckworth says is holding us back. She thinks our focus on talent makes us completely undervalue the one thing that we actually have control over. And she calls that one thing grit. Now, this isn't just about working hard for a little while. No, it's a very specific combination of passion and perseverance for your long-term goals. It's really the difference between being a sprinter and being a marathon runner. It's all about stamina. Now, what's really cool is how she breaks this down into two super simple but really powerful equations. The first one is all about how you develop your abilities. So you take your natural talent, let's say you're pretty good at drawing, you multiply that by the effort you put into practicing, and that equals your skill. Effort is literally the key that unlocks your potential. But look, having a skill is one thing. Actually achieving something with it, that's a whole different ballgame. That's where the second equation comes in. You have to take that skill you've built, and then you have to apply even more effort to make it productive. That's how a skilled artist becomes someone who actually sells their paintings and has a successful career. So here's the big takeaway from all this. Effort is the secret sauce. It shows up in both equations. First, it turns your talent into skill. Then, it turns that skill into real-world achievements. As Duckworth says, effort counts twice. All right, so that's the theory. And it sounds pretty good, right? But does it actually work in the real world? Like, under the most intense pressure you can possibly imagine? To find out, Duckworth went to the U.S. military at West Point. This is where new cadets go through this insane 7-week initiation called Beast Barracks. And trust me, it's designed to push them to their absolute limit, physically, mentally, emotionally, and to find every single weakness they have. In her very first study there, 71 cadets dropped out before the summer was even over. And these weren't just anybody. These were all top-tier students, star athletes, proven leaders. They all had the talent to be there. So what was the difference? What separated the ones who made it from the ones who didn't? And this is where it all clicks into place. It wasn't their whole candidate score. That's the Army's own big metric for talent, which includes SAT scores, class rank, athletic ability, everything. In fact, the cadets who stayed and the ones who left had almost identical talent scores. The single thing that best predicted who would make it through Beast Barracks was their grit score. So the evidence from West Point is just crystal clear. When things get tough, grit matters way more than talent. But here's the best part, the most empowering part of her whole research. Grit is not something you're born with, it's not fixed. It's a skill. It's something you can actually build and grow over time. So how do you do it? Well, Duckworth's research shows that grit grows through 4 key things. First, it starts with interest. You have to genuinely enjoy what you're doing. Then comes practice, and not just any practice, but a daily, disciplined effort to get better. Third is purpose, this feeling that your work matters, that it helps other people. And finally, there's hope. That's the mindset that lets you get back up after you fail, the belief that you can make your future better. And really, that brings us to the core idea of this whole explainer. Our talent, our potential, that's just our starting line. But our grit, our passion, our perseverance, our ability to get back up when we get knocked down, that is what decides how far we actually go. So the only question left is, what are you gritty about?